Hello, hello. I gotta keep this quick. This is gonna be a slow burn. So, if you're with me, you're with me. If you come and go, it's the internet. But what is happening here is a revelation of self where I speak to you directly. So we're just going to uncover stones together. The way I feel it is that I have a calling to be a leader. And what that means to me is that I'm being asked to exercise my faith in a way that is transcendent and I believe that's true for each of us. That is our truth. The way we exercise faith perfectly, it's like a key for our lives. And when we exercise perfect faith, we get locked into the path. And there's a way to do that. It's an art. It's something that has to be felt. We live in a beautiful system. We depend on starlight. It's a beautiful system. It's closed but open, constant, yet tumultuous, predictable, but constantly changing. No two moments are the same. You are never the same. There's only each footstep. It's a procession of creation, of existence, of unfolding, turning in on oneself, on itself. And to truly live is to accept that while still alive. To die before you die, to be born again, to be baptized, ego death. There's so many ways to describe the act of devotion that one must desire, discover, practice, develop a relationship with, fall in love with, and become so hypnotized by your own truth that you're just dancing. See, the first sin, I grew up as a Christian, so I can refer to and I revere most the Master and Son of God, that is Jesus Christ. I have a relationship. Since before I was indoctrinated, I sensed a special relationship, a special kinship with this wonderful, wonderful human. Wonderful. And he taught with such power and force. This is how, even today, one of the greatest measures of influence is how well you can penetrate into the youth market. If you can influence children, then you influence the future. You influence the now and the future. So he knew that suffer the children, be like a child, surrender, take no thought, right? When we were kids, we were in heaven. Heaven is at hand. And the kids loved him. And he was a teacher. That's what he did. He left his trade. He left his craft as a carpenter. I'm not saying, I don't know if he ever stopped carving, but like Hazrat Inayat Khan, a great Sufi musician and philosopher and poet and saint, virtually, right? He says he gave up playing musical instruments to play the music of the human soul, to really try to evoke something, some type of fellowship, some type of bond, to move your heart. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to play the music of the cosmos. And I see this as kind of like a marching band. Like sometimes there you run across a drum major, you know, and it's good. We all have a role to play. The key is just finding your instrument that you love to play most of all. Where's your signature? What is your signature? How do you feel without anything? Just you. When's the last time you felt just totally free? Floating at the center of your dimension. That's what meditation is about. That's what going within is about. That's what prayer is about. That's what fasting is about. Forgiveness, compassion, all of these things help you remain centered in heart and mind, strong character, posture, exercise, help align and breathing, help align your chakras and run your kundalini energy, your prana energy up and down your spine, to allow wisdom to be imbued upon your crown. This is the way. And this is Truth Core, where I do my best to remember my calling as an adventurer, as a teacher, as a practitioner, experimentalist, as a friend, as a disciple, as a student. And those things are part of my experience. There's not one thing that dominates. It's just being in the flow of the moment. One moment I'm leading, the next moment I'm teaching. Sometimes I do both at the same time. But I've embraced. I am in the process of embracing, and I have embraced in my heart, and I call forth in my heart without taking any thought. There are no thoughts clouding. And it takes practice to even get to a point where you are experiencing no thought. It is possible. And there are people who teach this, and there are communities who practice this. That's important to know. And that is part of your faith journey, to ultimately come to a place where you abide on a plane. That's why the cross is significant. It's a four-dimensional representation. It's a three-dimensional representation of multi-dimensional sphere, being at the point of a sphere, keeping your heart at the center. If you look at the heart, and it's in the center of man, and man is a star. If we draw the Vitruvian Man, we can see that man is a star. And so your heart is carries an important gravity at the center of your toroidal energy field. And that's an important balancing point as well. So to keep the crown open, to keep the energy and the breath flowing, to have the heart centered and pure, and to allow yourself to be rooted, which is to feel safe enough, to feel relaxed enough, yet maintain enough integrity with the system that we belong to, with the body that we belong to, being humble, not holding anything, but being empty. That way the energy can flow through our crown, down the chimney, down the spine, through the darkness, through the earth, through hell, and to be recycled through the other pole. So this is, you can look at it as the law of sacrifice is to surrender the earth. Humility is to be empty, to be void of even the idea of self, of any thought, of any desire. We'll talk about so much. I'll do my best to intertwine this kind of insight and wisdom into practical matters, real challenges that are faced on the unseen path where faith is the difference. Welcome to Truth Core.